Hello. Hello, beautiful. I hope you're all doing so very well. I was supposed to go live on Saturday, you guys. I just could not do it. I was so overly tired. I just could not just could not do it. But I wanted to make sure I go live today because I wanted to talk to you guys about something really fun on Saturday. Thank you guys so much for all the love that I've been getting on these lives, for your participation, for you coming in, hanging out with me, as well as you going back later and watching the replay and commenting. And some of you that are not comfortable with commenting, you always head over to my Instagram and DM me. And that just means the world to me. I appreciate it all so very much. Thank you. So I wanted to go live Saturday. We've been talking a little bit about where my self-care journey is and how important it is to me. And so today I wanted to talk a little bit about how I have decided to kind of elevate my self-care journey and what I'm doing to push myself forward. I have found that the biggest key on the self-care journey is really to love yourself, right? When you love yourself, you really begin to love other people. More love comes into you. And it's just a really beautiful thing. And it's more difficult for me to feel bad lately. Like when I'm in pain, I just kind of chill and sit and take care of myself and love on myself. I never um get mad at myself. I used to get so angry with my body for not doing what I wanted it to do, and I don't do that anymore. And so all of this comes with time. So I was thinking about this one day because I was on Instagram and I was talking about showing myself grace I can't remember exactly what the subject was. And someone messaged me and they were like, "How do you do that? How do you show yourself grace?" And I was like, "Well, you love yourself. You don't criticize yourself. You don't speak ill of yourself. You don't get mad at yourself for just being human and all these different things." And it kind of threw me off when that person asked me that, "Well, how do you show yourself grace?" And I was like, you just do. But I realized it's not something that I've always done by any stretch of the imagination. Showing myself grace is something very new, but I've been doing it for a while now. So when that person said something to me, it kind of threw me off. So I have realized that when I started this outrageous self-care journey in 2020, I started loving myself, and that was a side effect of the self-care journey that I was not expecting. I wasn't expecting to fall in love with Tracy during this journey. And I feel like I've gotten to a place where I really started loving myself, but I wanted to push it a little bit more. I wanted to go a little bit deeper in loving myself, and I really couldn't figure out what to do. One of the things that definitely happened is, like I said, you stop criticizing yourself. But even though I started using more positive affirmations, I still felt like there was more I could do. So if you follow me in my community tab, I posted 3 photos in there the other day. And those 3 photos are the same little chocolate person. Her name is Caycee. So Caycee is my little cousin. She is 3 years old. She just turned 3 in October. And to say I love Caycee really just doesn't seem like the strong enough word. Caycee is just honestly one of my favorite human beings in the world. Now, this video could have been easily named the Cortland Effect, the Elijah Effect, the Keaton Effect. This could have been named after any child that I have in my life. I love all of my children equally the same. I gush over them all the time. You guys, if you follow me on Instagram, you know I'm always sending birthday cards. I just absolutely positively love all the children in my life. But I chose Caycee because she's the youngest. And so this is what I decided to do. I used to watch the documentary The Secret all of the time. And one of the things that I noticed that Bob Proctor talked about, he was like, if you're having a hard time getting in a good mood, you should think about a little child that you love, one that's happy and wondrous and joyous. And that should automatically always put a smile on your face. I should automatically always make you feel good. And that is exactly what happens when I think about Caycee and all of my children. And so I was also listening to the book You Can Do It by Louise Hay, and she was talking about when you're sick, you can't be mad at your body. You can't scold your body or be upset with your body. You have to love your body and care for your body. And she said you should care for your body the way you care for a little kid. And I really got to thinking of when it was time for me, I felt like to elevate my self love part of my self care journey. Like, how could I do this? And I thought that I would start loving myself the way I love Caycee. I would start loving myself the way I love all of the children in my life. Because I think what really happens, the reason we kind of stop loving ourselves or don't love ourselves, happens to us when we are children. We have like this wounded person, and it is all stemmed from our childhood. So it's easy for us to hate on ourselves and for us to love outside of ourselves, right? So we love a little child, their innocence. You would never speak to them harshly. You would just discipline them, but you would never make them feel less than. So I decided that I would use the same effect with my life. I would treat myself the way I treat Caycee. So, one of my favorite things about Caycee is that she loves oatmeal. She's going to have oatmeal every morning. One day we were out and about with her grandmother and we stopped to get some breakfast and we were like, "What do you want, Caycee?" I said, "Oatmeal and some apple juice." I was like, Caycee is going to eat good food every single morning. She's going to start the day off right. And her mom is such an incredible mom that she doesn't like for Caycee to eat a lot of junk food. She makes sure she has good quality foods to eat, vegetables and fruit. And Caycee loves trying all types of new things. And so I started looking around and looking for ways to feed myself better. I want to feed and nourish my body and care for my body the way Caycee is cared for and care for her body. That little child in me is craving this nourishment from physical food as well as love. So how can I love myself? Well, you guys know I've started eating way more plant-based foods. And honestly, that just makes me feel my absolute freaking lutely best. Another thing about Caycee, we would never tell Caycee that she's ugly. I would punch anybody in the throat that ever spoke to Caycee that way. To tell her she wasn't beautiful, to tell her she was stupid, to tell her she didn't know nothing, to tell her she was dumb, to tell her she deserved what she got. I would fucking murder anyone. First of all, I wouldn't be able to even do it because her mom would do it first if her dad didn't do it first. She has three grandmothers that would do it, and her grandfather. We I would never even be able to get to that person if they did Caycee that way. So why am I talking to myself that way? Why when I make a mistake, I tell myself I'm dumb? Why would I make a mistake? I tell myself I'm stupid. Why would I look in the mirror and tell myself that I'm ugly? Why would I look in the mirror and tell myself that I'm fat? Why would I criticize myself? Why would I put myself down? I would never freaking do it to Caycee. I would never allow anyone else to do it to Caycee. I am the type of auntie that when Caycee gets in trouble, I'll be like, "What she do? Okay, what she do?" And her dad is looking at me like, "Girl, we ain't gonna explain this to you. We're not gonna explain this to you. She's gonna get this discipline that she needs." So I would never allow even her dad. I'm like, don't want to get into him disciplining her, but I'm also like, don't discipline her at the same time. So why am I doing saying all these awful things and treating myself this awful way? I started talking to myself the way I talk to Caycee. I wake up in the morning, I'm like, "Girl, you don't know what to do with this hair, but it's growing. It's really growing." And what do I do when I go to Memphis? I let Casey's mom do my hair because I don't know what I'm doing. I started taking care of myself and loving myself and speaking to myself the way that I would speak to Caycee. I never tell myself I'm dumb. I never tell myself I'm stupid anymore. I never tell myself I don't know what I'm doing. Even when I have those moments that I don't know what I'm doing or I feel really insecure about myself, I do what I would do with Caycee. Like if I know she's about to get in trouble because her dad had told her once already to stop doing something, I'd be like, "You better sit down. You better calm down for a minute. Be still for a minute." And so now, when I have those moments where I'm not feeling great, or like even today, I was so overwhelmed at work. I was just feeling really uncomfortable. I didn't know. I was kind of in the middle of something. I didn't know what was going on. I was working from home today. There were some things going on at the office, and I was feeling uncomfortable. So I took a minute, and the weather was good enough where I could open my patio door. I whipped out my yoga mat and I just did a few yoga stretches. I calmed myself down. I stopped for a minute. I spoke very kindly to myself. Just ask the questions that you need. Don't get upset. Just ask for what you need. And so I got back. It calmed me all the way down. Just doing 15 minutes of yoga, speaking kindly to myself, just being calm. And I got back online. I was like, hey, I'm not exactly understanding what you're talking about. And then when that person just like, oh, I didn't give you all the information, I was like, okay, got all the information and was able to move forward. But just taking those times to care for myself and love for myself the way I would care and love for Caycee is just really made the biggest difference in my days. And it's really helping me grow my love for myself. Another thing, Caycee loves to play. She's a little kid. She's 3. She loves to play. So I've started allowing myself way more space in my day and my life to play. Because what does play do? It naturally makes you smile. It naturally brings you joy. And so when you're in this happy, joyful state, loving yourself, then your body, your mind, your nervous system, all of that gets to start healing. And the most important thing in my life right now is for me to heal and to not be in so much pain. So even yesterday when I went to Marshall's, one of the things I was it wasn't on my list, but I wanted something fun because I'm going to go to Memphis for Christmas and I'm going to get to see Caycee and all of my other nieces and nephews. I'm going to see Erica, Jalen, Ryla, Ryan, Cortland, Caycee. I'm so excited to see. I'm going to get to see Keaton. I was so excited to see all of them. So I have Uno cards and I have some playing cards. I have some coloring books. And I also bought a new game yesterday. We went to Marshall's called Blockbuster. It's a game for anyone that's ever seen a movie. So I'm sure it's like a trivia game, and I'm really excited to play with the kids. But I also went yesterday and hung out with my friends. We did some crafting. Then another friend of mine, we went out to dinner. There happened to be live music while we were at dinner. We had an incredible conversation. We laughed. We made plans to go to the Jill Scott concert in April. Like I'm just allowing myself to play more, allowing myself to enjoy those little sweet moments in life. You know how a little kid will discover something for the first time and you're so jaded, you've seen this type of flower 100 times before, but this little kid is seeing it for the first time and they're just, oh, look at this flower, it's so beautiful, I want to take it with me, I'm going to nurture on a I'm going to bring it to mom. Well, you get to do those same things with yourself. I get to do those same things with myself. I get to play. I get to go to Trader Joe's in public to bring myself flowers. I get to go and just see all of the good and happy and adventurous things in life. And you guys, it really does make me feel better. It really is helping me push myself to love myself so much more because the more I love myself, the more love I put out, the more love that comes back to me. And that is really what I'm using and what I'm doing to truly, truly heal my body. Another thing about Caycee. Casey's mother is a natural hairstylist and she is fucking fierce at it. I will link her Instagram page in the description box. Y'all know who I am. I do have to come back later to the description box. And Caycee loves her hair being done. Caycee loves to look cute. She loves little bougie things. She's a little girl. She loves all these little things. She loves her little bubble baths, her matching pajamas. She loves reading at night. She loves her blanket. So she loves comfort. She loves to look cute. So I've started doing that with myself more. I noticed in the past when I would make YouTube videos, I would just get on here looking any kind of way. I would wake up in the morning, I would look any kind of way all day. I would go to work looking any kind of way. I don't do that anymore. I care for myself. I nurture my physical being, my physical appearance. I nurture the way I look at myself. I put makeup on just to sit here to work during the day. I don't wear leg. I didn't wear this at work today, but I wore something that was comparable to what I would wear to work. I don't just allow myself to look crazy anymore. I truly put time and energy and effort into who I am because that's exactly what I would do with Caycee and any of my nieces and nephews. As a matter of fact, I got her some pajamas for her birthday. I got her brother some pajamas for his birthday. Well, recently, my own pajama collection has been really getting tight. I have been making sure that even when I go to bed, When I take my shower in the evening times, I do my little night body care routine. I put a little bit of perfume on that I like to wear at bed at night. And I've been wearing matching pajamas, not just going to sleep looking crazy. I do not have all the matching bonnets yet. That's something I'm working on. But I always put effort in myself. Yesterday, when went to Marshall's, I bought myself some slippers because I realized my feet are always cold, and I don't always want to wear socks as I'm walking through the house. The weather is changing, and I don't always want to be barefoot because lately I've been taking a lot of time, effort, and attention in my pedicures. I bought myself a foot tub that it heats up. Like it starts off, you can put any temperature water you want to put in there. It heats up. I sit over here on my couch, put my foot tub out, put a towel under it. I turn the heat up to like the water temperature, like 108 is like my favorite temperature with it. And I've been giving myself these great pedicures. I went to the beauty supply store and bought all the products that I need to do it myself. I got some new nail polishes the other week. I got a new gel machine because I don't like my nails chipping so much. And I'm really having to practice and learn how to do um, gel manicures. I want my manicures to last a little bit longer and my pedicures to last a little bit longer. But I've been taking so much time and energy and effort the way I would put into Caycee. Another thing that I've noticed about myself lately is that I don't rush myself anymore. Because I had to thinking about it when you're around a little kid, they're like we talked about a minute ago, they're exploring the world for the first time. All this stuff is really new to them. They want to take time and look at the flower and figure out what it is, what is it called. They want to name it. They want to see this new insect or new animal or whatever. They just kind of go through life taking their time looking at everything because everything is new to them. And so lately, I've been taking much more time with myself. I've been blocking out time when I make my plans for the week. And I'm like, okay, it's going to take me this long to do my laundry. I'm going to take my time and I'm going to enjoy doing the laundry. I'm going to take this time, I'm going to block it out. And this is time I'm going to prepare meal prep for myself so I can have good, nutritious food to eat for the week. I've been taking my time a lot more lately. Now, at work, it's been very, very busy. So I have noticed the reason I noticed this, I've been taking more time lately is because I hurt myself the other day. I hurt my finger the other day when I was at work. I don't even remember the last time I had a self inflicted injury because I don't rush around knocking into walls, didn't see that, stumbling over this, kick this, did. I don't do that anymore. And so I was like, okay, that means I really need to slow down. I injured my little finger. So what did I do? The next day, first thing in the morning, I emailed my manager. I was like, hey, I need a day off. And I chose Thursday to take off work so I could allow myself a body and give myself time to heal. I would never rush Caycee. Even if we were in a hurry, I would be figuring out, okay, well, can we bring this in the car with us? I would never just like, no, you can't do that right now. We're too busy. We're in a hurry. I would never. And I wouldn't let nobody else do that to her either. Y'all hear me? I wouldn't let her dad do that to her. He wouldn't, but I wouldn't let her mom do. I wouldn't let people like, don't rush her. If you have to rush her, then I'll just wait with her. Don't do that. Just allow myself to live this really comfortable, slow, beautiful, happy life. That is what I call the Caycee effect. You can use this with any child that you know. I just think the most important thing is for you to love yourself. And if you're having a hard time loving yourself, or knowing how to treat yourself, use this video as reference. Use the little children in your life. And if you don't have any little children in your life, what are you doing? You got to know somebody that has a little grandchild that you can enjoy the stories of them. As I have a really good friend, even though she doesn't have any grandchildren right now, I'm always telling her stories about Caycee because one thing about Caycee, that's a whole grown person. She been here before. I mean, the old folks would say that she been here before. That little thing is a mess. I was at her house for her birthday party, and she said, "I'm hungry." I said, "Okay, what do you want?" And she was like, what's in that? What's that?" And I was like, "Well, that's some chicken." She was like, "What's in that?" I said, "There's nothing in that pan." She looked at me, deadpan. "Let me see." I said, "Let you see." Yes. I picked her up and showed her there was nothing in the pan. And she said, "Okay." I put it back down. I'm like, "You too short to be questioning me. You can't see this pan for yourself. You don't need to be questioning me with this pan." She has the biggest, best personality in the whole wide world. So if you don't have any children in your life, find you some children to be around, or just get in the mind space of how you would speak to your child or how you would speak to any child that you love. Now, if you don't love children, this ain't gonna work for you. And I understand everybody not loving children. I don't have any children, but I freaking love children. And but I don't necessarily love animals. Like, I'm okay with people's pets. I don't have any and I never want any again. But like, I don't necessarily love animals. I was at my friend's house yesterday. She has a dog named May. I love May. May good, right? I love my people's animals. I just don't want one of my own. But if you don't have that, just who do you love? Like, who would you never speak negatively to? Who would you nourish, and give the best foods to? Who would you have wonder time and playtime with? Like, who in your life can you say until you really start learning to love yourself just as you are? Who in your life could you imagine yourself as being, or talk to yourself the way you talk to that person, so that you can really grow and really heal and really, really begin to love yourself? Because one thing I've noticed over this last year, because this whole Caycee Effect concept really came to me in May. In May, we went to my little cousin Peaches graduated from Auburn University, and we were all together. We had an Airbnb, and several of us all in the house, including Casey. And so I just was I fall in love with her even more every time that I see her. And so when I was coming back home and I was, riding, I was thinking about how I could love myself and just how much fun I had with them. I was really thinking about how much fun I had with them and how much I deeply enjoyed my time with Casey and all of my little cousins and nieces and nephews that were there. And I later on, when I was thinking about how I could love myself more, the idea of loving myself the way I love Casey came up, the way I love all the children in my life came up. So just take some time, figure out who you love. And what I was about to tell y'all is that I've noticed so many changes in my life since I've learned to love myself the way I love Casey, or the way I love all the children in my life. I am making more money at this job. I am having so much more quality relationships, female and intimate relationships. I'm having so much more fun just in my life in general, that I've seen such an amazing shift. My pain has definitely been decreasing so much more. I just feel like the more I love myself in an honest, good, wholesome way, not arrogant or ego, the more my life is opening up, the more pain has been decreasing, and the more just joy and happiness and abundance. I think that's the word I want to use. The more I love myself, the more abundance there has been in my life. And I want that for you too. So we are at the 23-minute mark. We have done so well. I'm loving having these at like about the 20-minute mark. Before 30 minutes, I don't want to get all the way to 30 minutes. So I'm loving that. But I do want to tell you that because work has been so busy, and I did injure my little finger, that I did have to take the day off last week just to honestly breathe. I am not going to film or edit any more videos for the rest of this calendar year, which is only what, 3 weeks, I think. Actually, maybe, yeah, it's just 3 weeks. So this video is my last video for 2022. But I'm so excited to continue this journey with you and actually have like some vlog content and some more cooking content for you in the year 2023. So I'm going to make this my last video. I will not be that active. I may put up a picture here and there just as like, hey, everything's going great. But I won't really be engaging on any of my social medias that much. So if you follow me on Instagram, I'm usually over there in my stories all the time. I won't be doing that as much either. I'm really going to take some time out and just sit and just be still and breathe. It's been so freaking busy at work. One of my departments is hiring 3 new professors, which means we've had candidates coming in, 2 candidates a week coming in for the last several weeks. And it's just been insanely busy. And now is the Christmas season. Today was hopefully the last Christmas party that we had. On Friday, we had a candidate and we had one of our department's Christmas parties. So Friday was insane. I actually messaged my supervisor on Friday. Said, I'm changing my name to Monica Anise Jackson. Don't tell the chair. It was so busy Friday that the chair would just find me somewhere in the building and ask me a question to do something. And I was like, you could have just sent me an email. I'll be back at my desk. And like, it was just insane. And so I just want to really take some time to rest and get myself in a really good place just because it's been so, so busy. And we get 2 weeks off work with pay. So I'm super, super, super excited about it. So yeah, I am so grateful that you guys are all here today. I appreciate you so, so very much. And I look forward to seeing you in 2023. I love you guys. Have a good evening. Bye, beautiful.